Well, hello, pretty girls. Happy January. Hope you guys had a great week this week. We're in Missouri, and so we have kind of gotten dumped with ice and snow this week, but it's quite beautiful, even though I don't like the cold, and so I'm rather enjoying watching it outside my window. So I hope wherever you guys are, you've had a little bit of sunshine and a great week. And so I wanted to pop in here and share with you guys something brand new that we've never done before. So it is the new year. I am purposing to do some different things this year and maybe pop outside my comfort zone, perhaps to try something that I've not tried in the past. And so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to call it a creative showcase. And so this is something that I think that you guys will enjoy. I am sharing the opportunity with my own team members, and they're going to be able to join us that afternoon as well. But on the 25th of January, we're going to start about 1 p.m. in the afternoon, Central Standard Time, of course, and we are going to create a lot of different projects using the Marbled Elegance suite, or the Marbled Elegance collection. And so in my world, that's just the Valentine paper. That's what my brain calls it. And so anytime I see all the hearts and the red and the pink and the gold, it just screams Valentine's Day for me. So what we're doing is the projects that we're going to be creating have a love theme to them. There are a few elements that you'll be able to see specifically mention Valentine's Day, but only very few of them. And so we're going to create a wide number of projects. It's just really going to be an afternoon of creating together, relaxing, very non-stressful, no prep work for you. You can just grab your supplies and join me that afternoon, planning on streaming it on Zoom. So if you're not a part of Facebook, you're most likely not listening to this video on Facebook, but maybe you'll listen to it over on the replay on YouTube. But just know that if you guys don't have Facebook, we're planning on creating, streaming it for Zoom so that you'll be able to take part and participate along with us. And so that's what we're kind of hoping. If there is no charge to come to the event, there is just a requirement of a $75 order over on my shopping website. Now, the fun thing about that is that you're most likely going to want to grab at least a part of the things that are on the supply listing. By the way, I'll post the supply listing in the description of this video, so you guys will be able to have that. But you'll receive some things with that order in addition to what you're actually grabbing on the website. So at a $75 order level, you're going to be able to choose one item from the Celebration. It's a great big party we're having during January and February, where Stampin' Up's giving away a lot of free product, and you can choose what you would like. So for every $60 that you spend, you get to pick one free item. And so at a $75 order level, you can grab a free item off of there. Okay. So with your $75, you are going to receive 2 kits from me in the mail. Now, for my business, you guys know, if you've hung out with me for any amount of time, you know that I have several levels or tiers of kits that you can earn for free. We're not going to discuss all of those in this video, but we're going to tell you that with a $75 order, you can earn 2 different kits in the mail, sent directly to your home, that come directly from me, not from Stampin' Up. It's something I personally have cut and created for you. So the first one, you're going to actually get the optional Cricut pieces that I designed specifically for this paper collection. Those are going to come in an envelope for you. And again, you do not have to use them if you don't want to. If Cricut is not your jam, that's okay. But you will get those as just a little thank you gift from me. Now, the number 2 kit that you will get is my cute little monthly card kit. There will be an online class event for this as well. We do this the following month. So this is the kit for January, which means we have the virtual class in February, but you'll go ahead and get your kit in January. But it's going to be all the paper, the cardstock, the envelopes, all of that you will need to put these fun little cards together. And what I love about them, this will create 6. And as I said, it comes with the paper, cardstock, envelopes, all that good stuff. You will need to grab the stamp set, of course, if you want to make them with the toadstools. If you don't want to make them with toadstools, you can use a stamp and die that you have in your stash. But all of that is over. I will link that blog listing underneath this video, so you guys can go right over there and have an up close peek at them. But the fun thing about these is they will smush flat for mailing. So they're going to go right in an envelope for you. And so when you pull them out of the envelope, they're going to pop up. But when you put them in the envelope for mailing, they will be flat as a pancake, or kind of, it's a flat-ish pancake because I like foam tape and embellishment. But for those of you that like flat things, they will be flat as pancake. But they're adorable, and I'm going to show you guys how easy they are to create. And whenever we're done with the class, you'll be able to take what you've learned and use other additional dies in your stash and products in your stash and know very quickly and easily how to create them, because you're going to have a cutting file. We're going to have live demonstration that night. We do giveaways that night. It's just a fun evening of girl time. So that is also something that you guys will get with your $75 purchase. Okay. So as I said, we're going to just enjoy an afternoon of creating. And one of the things that I wanted to make sure that everyone, so everyone can participate, right, is I didn't want you guys to be bothered with doing a lot of prep work. I didn't want you to feel like not only were you required to carve out a few hours in that afternoon to put all the, to go through the classes and put the things together. I didn't want you guys to be concerned with having to carve out additional time throughout your week to maybe decipher a cutting guide or turn on your Cricut or something like that. And so what we're going to do is we're going to do this similarly to the virtual classes that I stream for the people that take part in my kits each month, is we are just going to do it all together. So that means we're going to cut our paper together. We are going to die cut our pieces together, and all of the assembly steps are all together in real time. There will be blunders along the way because that is how we roll, right? But really, it's just going to be a fun, relaxing day of creating and fellowship, and I think that you're going to enjoy it. So like I said, it's going to be a lot less scripted than anything I've ever done before. But you're going to leave when you attend the event, or even if you can't, I have already had people that have reached out to me and said, Suze, I love it. I'm excited for it, but I have something planned that day that I can't get out of. Do I have options? And so I replied to them, of course, by saying that, yes, we are planning on recording it. And so you'll be able to go back and work through the recording at your pace. And so maybe you craft a little bit slower than what we do on camera. You'll be able to go back and rewind and fast forward and all of those things, and really take your time putting things together so that they are at your liking and you don't feel rushed, right? It's not about adding stress. It's about relaxing and enjoying creating some fun things. So it will be recorded if you cannot attend. So I have a private event page set up on Facebook where we're actually going to stream the event. And so once you have placed your $75 qualifying order, again, I'll put the supply listing for this event in the description of this video. So if you guys want to see what you might want to order to be sure that you have the things that you can use to create the projects, even if you have your own paper, if you're using different paper, but maybe you want to get the stamp set and the die or something like that, you can pick and choose what you would like to order. My criteria is only $75. It doesn't matter to me what you order. So that will be in the description of the video. And there will be we'll put other things over in the event link on Facebook. So when I said we're not going to be deciphering cutting guides, turning on Cricuts and all of that stuff that you have to do beforehand, all of my customers, as I said, all of you guys that place your order of 75 are going to already get all of the Cricut pieces shipped to you. So you don't have to worry about cutting those at all. So if you don't have a Cricut, don't worry. I will provide that for you as a gift. But we're going to do all the die cutting and all the trimmer cutting that day. And so another thing that is going to be, again, this is going to be very different than anything I've done in the past, is that every single project, all of the layouts, all of the cards, all this good stuff is going to come with individual sketches for each and every project. Now, what that means is two things. You're going to have an easy to create roadmap for every project that you see here. And the second reason why I felt like that would be really beneficial is that if you guys are listening and you're like, oh my gosh, Suze, that's a ton of projects, I only want to do pages, I don't want to do cards. Well, if I take all the projects and I put them together into a master cutting guide, in order to get all your scrapbook pieces out of that mess, you end up cutting all the card pieces too, right? Well, that essentially, in my mind, wastes your paper or it limits your paper. It makes it a little more difficult to use it in a way that you want to use it. And so what this means, since everything will have a sketch with all of the measurements on it, so essentially like a single cutting file for each project, if you will, you guys will be able to go and pick and choose the projects that you wish to create, and you only can cut your paper to fit those projects. So you can go in and pick whichever patterns of paper you want for your layouts. You don't have to create them just like me. And if you don't want to make the cards, then you don't have to cut up your paper in the shapes that I cut them up for the cards, because you just won't you just won't use those sketches, right? So I'm hoping that this will be a way that we can add a bit more versatility and also a little bit of that frugality that we like around here, right? So I'm going to go through, I'm quickly going to show you guys the projects we're going to be making. Now, I'm just going to tell you, I still have paper left over. And so if I get a little, you know, wind up my sails, I might, we might end up with more projects than what you guys see here. But at a minimum, this is what you guys will have photos and sketches for, and what we are going to aim to assemble on camera. Now, there may be some, we may not get through every single project. We just might not. But I assure you, if we have to break it up, or if we, you know, leave the really simple ones till last, so you can just, you know, nothing interactive about them, we'll do that. But we'll make sure that everybody is able to learn all of the new techniques and new things on camera, so that no one is left wondering, oh my word, Suze, how does this go together? So let's go ahead and have a look. So one of the things on the list is the Marbled Elegance suite or collection. And so in Stampin' Up! World, that's all the things that kind of coordinate with this, or a lot of things that coordinate with that little collection. And it's bundled together. Okay, that's what they call a suite or a collection. And so one of the things that they had in the Marbled Elegance collection or suite were these little gift bags. And so I felt like, well, gosh, if they're already included in there, I need to challenge myself to create some fun projects with those. And so there'll be some additional ideas that I'm not showing on camera here that I use them for. Again, that's just something you have to come to the event to see. But we've kept these very, very simple, and we've used both sizes. So inside that collection, there are a large size gift bag and a small size gift bag. And as I said, there'll be more artwork inside that group that I'm not going to show outside here, okay? Using these little bags. I've already got 2 more projects that I'm currently working on. So you've got the little small ones. Some of the things that are on the supply list is this beautiful, beautiful wide ribbon. And I love it because it's a ribbon that you can smush down if you've used it on a card like I have here, or if you're using it on a scrapbook page, it will smush down. But when you take it out of the envelope, it will poof back up. It's so fun. It's absolutely adorable. It's my favorite ribbon I've ever had. Ever to this date I've ever had. I love it. So some of that really fun gold ribbon. We did use a little bit of the foil paper, and you can see the intricacy on the marbled, oh my gosh, the names are still a little difficult for me, guys. The Hearts of Elegance dies. So you can see that stitching there. It's completely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I love it. So this is just one of those little teeny tiny gift bags. Here are some of the larger size. Let's just see if Facebook will cooperate and show me some comments. It usually does not show me comments. So if you guys are commenting and I'm not responding to you, it's because Facebook hates me. And so I'm still not seeing them. So if anyone's watching and commenting, I'm not trying to ignore you on purpose. Just Facebook is a boy, okay? Because boys don't like to cooperate. That's all I'm saying. So here are just a few that were, again, kind of keep them simple. You can, you'll have lots of elements and embellishments left that you can jazz them up a little bit if you want. You can see here, this one is just got a little bit of a little die piece in there with some stamping. We've used an embossing folder on the supply list. I believe just one color of stamp pad, so you don't have to grab a bunch of those if you don't have them. But I'm just going to show you guys some fun ways to use some of these products that maybe you're not thinking about, okay? So just a few gift bags there. Then we're going to move into some cards, okay? And so what's fun is that I teach a lot of cards, both in my personal business and inside the membership. And I have some that I've never taught in either place. And so I'm really excited to share those with you guys. So this is going to be a fun design that's very simplistic, yet I feel like it doesn't take much to kind of make it a little special. So you've got a window in there, right? You've got some layered hearts on the front with some of that fun gold knotted twine, which I love. And then you open it up and you've got some fun little pieces in there. But I just love me a good window card. I don't know why. It just kind of elevates it a little little tiny bit without taking a lot of time or effort or anything like that. This one is a design I've never taught before, ever. Just it's been around probably since the beginning of time, and so everyone's probably seen it for a million years. I've just never taught it until now. And so you've got a great panel here to stamp or to write a little bit of a message on the inside. And then on the outside, you've got this fun little flap. And remember I told you that ribbon is really cool because it smushes. So you can smush it down to go in an envelope, but then it just pops right back up when you take it out. It's completely awesome. You got some more of that stitching on that heart there, which I love. Absolutely, I absolutely love it. And you guys can see, obviously, red and pink with hearts just screams Valentine's Day, but you're gonna notice the stamping and the things that we're doing does not really specify Valentine's Day. I think there's two elements on here. One of them is a Cricut element that actually says Valentine's Day, but really most of it would work for just, you know, regular cards of affirmation to send to people and that kind of thing. This one I love. This is a new one that I have never taught this mechanism on the inside. So you've got it really simplistic, Be Mine on the outside, and then you open it up and you've got this really cool, you're never gonna believe how easy this one is to make. Like, you are not even gonna believe it. I can't wait to show you. So it's got a really fun pop-up mechanism on the inside. And of course, this would be a fun mechanism you can add to any card. So that's the great thing about going to a class where they're actually striving to teach you something that maybe you did not know before, is that you're gonna take what you've learned and you'll be able to apply it to many, many other projects that you're creating, right? I just love it. So this one is one of my favorites, and it's probably one of the most understated projects that I have, but it's fun because we just took a big chunk out of the side or the front of the card, and it just added so much. I know it just seems silly, but sometimes those understated elements really make all the difference. So we took a window out and added a little bit of clustering here with some different die cut pieces and some embellishments. Put a little bit on the inside as well to add a little bit of that dimension. You've got some more of that gold twine here on the edge, and plenty of space to write a little message or stamp a sentiment if you would like. But again, it's so simplistic, but I love it. I just love it. This one is very simple. Again, guys, there's going to be sketches for all of these. There is going to be additional artwork that I'm not showing in camera. Just saying, okay? You're going to leave with a ton of ideas. I will all of these are going to be photographed inside the event page, so you'll be able to go back and refer to them as many times as you would like, okay? It's just some fun little bits on the inside. There's that same 1.5" ribbon, and I just twisted it up. It is so fun, you guys. And look at this little truck of all of the Cricut pieces that I did for this this event, as well as my great big marbled Elegance workshop. This is my very favorite image. I just love that cute little truck. It's adorable, absolutely adorable. This one, very, very simplistic. This is one of the items that actually will say Valentine's Day. It is, I think, just one of two, so not very many. This is an awesome interactive card design that I will show you how easy it is to create. So you've got this fun bit on the inside and this really cool closure that will be able to put it back shut, okay? So you've got some of those die cuts there that we use the dies for, and emboss those, a little bit of a Cricut piece on top, some gold foil, and a little bit of that fun gold ribbon. And again, it's so simplistic, you guys. You're absolutely gonna love how easy these are to create. I can't wait to teach you. I'm so excited. This is the first time we've ever done anything like this, so we'll see how it goes. I hope that it will be well received. This one I love as well. It's very interesting. I usually lean towards cool colors. I feel like the Poppy Parade and the Petal Pink are warm colors, and those were the two colors that I think I gravitated to the most out of this entire collection, was the Petal Pink and the Poppy Parade. I just loved it. And so this has a really almost like a pastelish look on here, but you can see multiple die pieces, a Cricut image on the top, a few of those little banner pieces. One of the dies, we actually used 2 dies in the supply listing that I'll put in the description, the Hearts of Elegance dies, and then the Stylish Shapes dies, which probably, if you're listening to this and you're one of my customers, you probably already have it, because it's one that I use over and over and over again. It's just a great staple to keep in your stash. Lots of different sizes, lots of different shapes, and it's good for so many things. So that is one we leaned on as well, okay? But you can just see, really easy to put together. Fun little cards. They're gonna work for not only Valentine's Day, but other occasions as well, right? And we're gonna do this early enough that you'll be able to have these ready for Valentine's Day with no trouble. That's why we bumped it up a little bit, okay? So then we've got 4 12 by 12 pages, okay? And so I think they both turned out really, really great. Sometimes I get so busy working that many times for classes and demonstrations and workshops, I don't take time to go through my photos and get them printed and cropped and edited and all of that and get them in my layouts. And so this made me happy, I think maybe because I actually took the time to get my own photos in there. So we were not matching super well the colors of the paper. So I, of course, made them all black and white, which that is a go-to that I do. I have a lot of black and white photos because the smiles are more important than the background, right? So we have used a lot of those very same elements that you guys saw in the previous projects. So you can see, look at the embossing folder that we used. Isn't that gorgeous? That's just white cardstock, and it is wildly awesome. I love the 3D embossing folders. They make me so happy. Oh my gosh, I love them. So lots of this really fun, beautiful marbled elegance paper. A lot of it has a gold foil on the outside of it. It's absolutely beautiful. And so then you've got lots of Cricut pieces on this layout. Now, as I said, you don't have to use the Cricut pieces if you do not want to. You have lots of the die cuts in the dies that are on the supply listing to use, just like we did on the other projects, right? So this one uses no die cuts and all Cricut pieces. And then the other one uses a lot of die cuts and just a few leftover Cricut pieces. So I think that you guys will enjoy kind of this happy little balance that we have going on here. But I absolutely love them. You can see lots of great photo spaces. You do not have to use smaller photos if you don't want to. You can use the larger ones. I just sometimes when you're taking selfies, you kind of get what you get, right? When your boys are moving around and distance is an issue and all of that. So sometimes to me, it ends up depending on when I crop them or size them down. Is it going to crop and be better if it's a square photo or if it's a rectangle photo? And if it's a rectangle photo, then and I can make it work vertically, then that's what I do if that's what the pattern is calling for. These just did not work out that way. They worked out better in a square shape. So in order to do that, you can put two squares together and make a rectangle. So that's what we did. So mine are a little bit smaller, but you guys don't necessarily have to do it smaller. You can use larger photos. So you can see more of that fun gold ribbon and more of those little satellite embellishments around there, and then just some Cricut pieces kind of piggybacked on top of each other. And then this is the one that when I unveiled this to my team and told them about it, I did not have this layout done. I decided at the very last minute I was going to make another 2-page layout, and I didn't have it done or photographed or anything like that for them. So if I have any team members that are watching, they're seeing this for the first time. So I love how this turned out. Again, remember I told you guys we get treat bags in the suite, right? So I wanted to show another way to use the treat bag. So we use them as a pocket on our page, and it will actually hold our photos in there. So I've got a bunch of 3x4 photos, which, as you guys know, if you're looking at this and you're saying, Suze, I only have the store print my photos, so all I have are 4x6s. Here's the deal. I've shared this multiple times, but I print my own photos. My printer is not expensive at all. So if you guys want the link, I'll send it to you. Like when I say not expensive, like when I linked it yesterday on Amazon, it was like $70. So it's very inexpensive, and the photos print just fine. But it gives me a lot of freedom with orientation, with size, with color. And so I kind of make my photos fit the layout rather than having to make the layout pattern fit the photos. And that has been wildly successful for me, and I could never go back. But if you're one of those people that have your photos printed and all you get are 4x6s, I want to draw your attention to this, okay? It's going to make the video a little longer, but it is what it is. This is a pattern that will essentially hold 6 6x4 photos, okay? So one here, one here, one here, one here, one here, and one here. But you'll notice my photos, again, when you're in selfie mode, or we had the pilot taking this one, sometimes orientation is not your friend, right? It's very difficult. Sometimes when you're working with the photo and you have to make it work for the pattern. So thank goodness I was able to change make my sizing and my orientation and that kind of thing. But since this is a horizontal or landscape photo, but I needed vertical 6x4s. I did not have any options to be able to use this unless I made this technically a 6x8 photo, which is just what, two 6x4s, right? Stuck together, right? If I wanted to add them to create actually the look of 2 photos. I could have cut it right down the middle, but to me, it just didn't really, I had the perfect space for it. So it seemed a little counterproductive to cut it down the middle when I had perfect space for it. I didn't have to alter the pattern at all. So this is taking up the space of 2 6x4s. Now, if I only had a single 6x4, kind of like here, Randy waving, then of course I would use the space as is. But since I didn't, and mine was landscape, all I had to do was make it big enough to take up 2 photo spaces, and I was still able to keep that horizontal orientation, right? Same thing with the helicopter over here. This is taking up the space of 2 6x4 photos. Okay, so again, like, could I have cut it down and made it look like 2 6x4 photos? I could have, but then again, it would have cut us right there in the middle, and it worked out so great with the space that it didn't make any sense in my mind to do that. So I just wanted to bring you guys to the attention that if you are mainly 6x4 photo kind of people, we can still make this work. This will absolutely fit all of those photos just perfectly with no trouble at all. Okay, so let's see them up close. So as I told you, we have used a lot of those heart die cuts, and you can see I love sticking them in the embossing folder. I love it. This one we stamped and doodled around the outside, which I have a trick to show you there, and stamped, and then I ran it through the embossing folder, and it has a beautiful, beautiful textured look to it. And I love it because sometimes cardstock's just kind of plain, right? And this is such a great way that you're not adding too much, you're just adding just enough, right? So again, you've got some more that gold twine knotted under there, another little cricket piece, that beautiful stitching on that heart. I love it, absolutely love it. Some of those gold hearts. This is a cricket piece that you guys will get in your kit. And then this one, you can see you've got hearts flying out the top and then coming down the bottom as well. And again, see, it is Valentine's. It's perfect for Valentine's, but really it works so great with other occasions and photos as well, right? Now, I kind of laid off the gold foiling. If you guys have not paid attention to the paper collection on the website, that there is one side of the paper that's just your standard printing, right, that you can see here, and then all of the other backgrounds are all the gold foiling. So if you don't want gold foiling, I did not use a lot of gold foiling, only this piece right here. Everything else I used the back sides just to kind of tone it down a little tiny bit and have a little bit more of a quiet texture in the background instead of like this big splotchy stuff that would be a little bit more overwhelming, right? But you can see just fun hearts at the top. Down here, we've got our main cluster, fun hearts at the bottom, and you can see there's no large title. I think sometimes we get stuck that we think because we have great big 12 by 12 photos that we have to have a great stinking big title, and I just don't feel like we have to. I feel like this is a beautiful little focal element here, and it serves perfect for a title space. So you can see another one of those matching cricket pieces that you'll get in your kit, and just a fun little stamp sentiment that works for cards as well, but it works great as a little title here. And since, you know, it might look a little understated if you just popped it like up here in a corner or something, but since we really built on it, you've got a great focal element here, and I feel like that stands out on its own enough that it compensates for a smaller size of a title, right? I just love it. I love this page. This will be one that goes up on my wall when I'm done teaching with it. I love it. It just makes me very happy. So that is what we're going to create, guys. As I said, there'll be additional artwork that's shown during the event, and some other things that we'll see and show during the event. And who knows? We have 2 weeks and 1 day until the event happens, and there's no telling what I can pull out of the blue clear sky before then. So I would love if you guys would join us. Again, I'll put the supply listing in the description of the video. And the way that you can get an invitation to it is placing a $75 order over on my shopping website, and you'll get 2 free kits shipped to your door with that order, as well as get to choose a celebration item that it will prompt you when you're checking out. It will prompt you to the number that you have earned with your order. So if you order $120, you'll be able to get 2 items if you want. You don't have to spend that to get into the event, but if you wanted to, as I said, you can check over on the blog that I'll put down below in the description. Look over on the blog and you can see all of the other kits that you guys can get free this month. There are 4 this month that you can earn free from me with qualifying orders. So you definitely can get a lot of freebies happening in the month of January. So if you have questions, you are so welcome to put them below in any of the comments wherever you're watching this video, or if you want to reach out to me with my instant messenger that you guys will see linked, or my email that's in the description and that kind of thing. Reach out to me. I'll be so happy to answer your questions. I would love it for you guys to join me. I feel like we're gonna have a wonderful afternoon together, fellowship and creating, and I hope that you'll make our first one a success. So happy Friday, guys. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and I will talk to you next time.